offense is a really good characteristic for your team.
Shane Wetzel is at the court, and he is going to get ready for the first serve of the game. We're underway here at Covelli. Ball on Penn State's side, faked out there, and getting the kill is John Kerr. And the Penn State Nittany Lions get the first point of the game.
Well, there's that physicality that Mark Pavlik was talking about on the side out. That's Kerr. He's third in the country in kills per set.
Koval to serve. Dug out by Poole. Hurley gets it! And his first point of the night. And gets his first kill, stepping in for Jacob Pastor on that side.
Well, he's a setter by trade, but can be worked on the outside, especially in a spot start situation like tonight. But a lot of these setters, they come into college also having a lot of outside experience.
He has 2 service aces this season, looking for his third. And that won't go as Penn State able to regain the possession. Valenti saved by Ohio State. Two-handed right there by Putnam, and it's back to Penn State's side. And looking out, John Kerr unable to get the tip. It goes out, and Ohio State up by 1.
Well, keeping an eye at number 4 in blue for Penn State, Michael Valenzi, senior outside hitter. He's 6'2", and you're thinking, well, that's not really small. Well, in this sport, when the average height is around 6'5", 6'6", that's the case. But, boy, he can really elevate, and we saw that there. Just resulted in an OSU point.
Hurley with the serve. Back to Penn State's side. Set up there by Schwob. And the Nittany Lions are able to get one. And that time coming from Rose.
I think this match could be really won in the middle, partner. A lot of good middle blockers, middle hitters for both sides. Going to be on display tonight.
Rose to serve and hits the net, so an error there, and Ohio State will get the point in. Tyler, when a service error happens like that, Ohio State, they will now want to try and take advantage of this opportunity.
Absolutely, because of course on the men's side, you're going to see a lot more service errors. It's a lot more powerful, but when you get the chance to get the ball back in your hands, you want to try and capitalize like Cole Young will here.
Back to Penn State, and a big missile right there coming from Izionu, and he will get the kill. And just coming out of that far side, Tyler, trying to find that Ohio State hole, and he got it there.
Yeah, another strong side out for Penn State. You really got to like the physicality that they brought out through the first 6 points.
Kerr to serve. A Derry, Pennsylvania native. Back to Ohio State, and a switch up by Michael Wright. He hands it down, and he will get to serve as the Buckeyes now take the lead.
I mean, that's a pretty easy dump play. Obviously, Wright can do 2 things. He can go forward there, or he can go for the back set and kind of force it to the right pin. He's just going to take what's his and do it cleanly.
Off the net, Penn State will continue to play the ball. A 2-hand push-up, and Penn State able to save the ball. Back to Ohio State's end, and putting it down right there was Howard. And another push down by Wetzel, and after that good rally, Tyler, which you don't always see in men's volleyball, it went back and forth, but Wetzel was able to find the hole.
No, you don't. Usually coaches, they want to be quick with it. They don't necessarily want those rallies, but when you get it in this sport, it is exhilarating, and we saw the crowd get into it there. A good just free ball contest there by Wetzel.
Right. Dug out by Merck, and Ohio State will grow their lead.
Well, Wetzel's a lefty. He serves with his left. His dominant hand is the left, but he's got back-to-back kills, Zach, with his right hand, and that time doing it with the fingertips.
And it creates a little confusion for Penn State as well, especially if they're looking at film. As another serve coming off. Great save by Penn State. Merck looking off to Valenzi, and Ohio State and Hurley, he was able to get just a little hand, but not enough lift. And Penn State will get the point.
Yeah, Daniel Hurley kind of double clutched it a little bit, but let's go to the other double clutching dig. That was Michał Kowal from Poland, the senior. He initially extended maybe a little bit too prematurely, but then on the second effort, he really came through. And now they're going to start mopping down the court, so maybe there was some slippage in the Ohio State back row that caused Hurley to kind of time his footing.
Michael Valenzi, the Boca Raton, Florida native, ready to serve. Up in the air and off to Ohio State's end. Poole with the dig. Set up and missing the mark is Putnam. Goes out of bounds, and Penn State crawling back in. They're down by 1.
Yeah, 2 quick points there. I mean, in this sport, things can really go awry quickly, and we've seen that so far. And I mean, this has the makings, top 10 matchup. You got to think this has what it takes to go 4 to 5 sets. I mean, the Buckeyes, they've gone to 5 sets for the last 3 matches. They've won them all.
Penn State not able to get to 4 sets in either of their games last week, as Ohio State and Daniel Hurley will go up by 2 again. And we were talking about before this set, Tyler, how is he going to look stepping in for Jacob Pastor, and he's looked good so far. Penn State had the ball in the reach over there by Ohio State, will force the error onto the Buckeyes' side, and Penn State will get the point.
And back to Daniel Hurley here, Zach. I mean, we've seen him mix up his timings, too. He had the kill on the tip. He got things started with an authoritative kill, so he's deceptive as well.
Ezeonu with the serve. Back to the Buckeyes' side. And looking for the tip was Wetzel. He didn't get it. And the Nittany Lions tie things up. And a nice comeback from them. They were always within that 1 or 2 points, but now to knock things back up. Now Ezeonu will, with the serve, try and get the lead. With the power Poole digging. Hurley blocked by the Nittany Lions. Calling for it is Putnam. And a nice block by Penn State, but it went out. And that was Hurley trying to force the Nittany Lions on that one. And it was a great block. They had 2 there, but the direction didn't go. And that will give Ohio State the lead.
Yeah, Penn State, they did a good job getting under the block, but sometimes for an outside hitter, you just have to hit those blocks and see what the direction takes.
Justin Howard with the serve. Back to the other side by Kerr. Nice save there by Howard. Set up for Hurley, and he misses the mark. And Penn State will tie things up again.
I think the key is limiting those attacking errors for the Buckeyes. They have a lot of power, they pack a lot of punch, but that's now 4 attacking errors for their squad. And on the other end, Penn State's committed just 1.
Michael Schwob, the freshman. Puts that one out. And Ohio State will get the point off the service error, hitting the official right at the corner. So now Shane Wetzel will get the serve. 9-8 for the Buckeyes over Penn State. Wetzel powers it out. So service error to service error, and things equal out at 9.
Yeah, just a little equalizer there. And Shane Wetzel committing that service error.
Those are usually the ones you want to convert on, as Koval made the serve. Hurley looks, blocked by the Nittany Lions. And they will take the lead up 10-9 as Owen Rose with the nice block for Penn State.
He had 5 blocks against Stanford and UCLA last weekend in Austin, and that's just a single block there, soloing to tool it off right at the pin.
Koval again. Back to Ohio State. And Cole Young will get credited there for the kill. There was a little confusion. Penn State thought they had it. And looks like there's going to be no protest from the Nittany Lions, so Ohio State with the serve and Hurley. That one will go out. So Penn State up 11-10. And Tyler, when you're someone stepping in for Pastor today with Hurley and you want to make your mark, how do you just rub off maybe a service error there and just try and move on?
Well, I think it's short-term memory. I think you just got to leave it in the rearview mirror, make a dig here on the serve receive, or in this situation, now you have the chance to get it back and make an impact on the outside. And I think the key is to just put it behind you, because you got to have that quick recalibration in a big spot like this, the first spot of its kind for Daniel Hurley.
And now the service errors canceled out again on that time. And Ohio State will get the point. John Kerr, his attempt went out, so Ohio State will get the serve again.
That's going to be a fun matchup, Zach. Shane Wetzel and John Kerr, the two opposite hitters. Wetzel coming off 30 kills against USC and UCLA. Kerr's third in kills percent. That's going to be a fun tussle.
Dug out by Wetzel. Looking for the kill, and he gets it! That's Ben Putnam. And there was a little confusion on the Nittany Lions side, and he was able to find the hole off the deflection from the two Nittany Lions on the front lines. So 13-11 now, Cole Young with the serve again. Valenzi putting it down, and he'll get the kill. And Penn State now within one.
That's just a nifty piece of attacking from Valenzi. Goes up to get it, eyeballs that middle row, and he quickly recognizes that he's got a chance to find that ball slip through the cracks.
Kerr serves. Poole able to make the save, and putting it out is Putnam, and Penn State knots things up at 13.
It seemed like an awkward hand placement there. Putnam went for the left hand and maybe tried to attract fingertips at the top of the tape. But that's a big break for the Nittany Lions, and it's fun watching them slide, too, when it's worked to the opposite end.
Kerr serving. Nice block there by Penn State. Another chance by Ohio State and Shane Wetzel, and he finds the hole for the kill, and the Buckeyes regain the lead.
And it was set up well by Justin Howard. Nothing was doing on that first hitting attempt. He had it denied, but then it was regathered, and it was set up for Wetzel to clean it up in the back.
Michael Wright put things down, blocked by Ohio State. Penn State will try again. And the Nittany Lions looking for things right now. Schwob, and it goes for the Penn State Nittany Lions point, and it was just an unfortunate scenario for the Buckeyes.
And just great synergy on the other end for the Nittany Lions, because Michael Schwob, the freshman, certainly not playing like it. That's a veteran type of assist. He set up Ezeonu there in midair, almost like he was trying to go over Ezeonu and target Kerr, but Ezeonu, he's second in the country in hitting percentage. He's going to get that 10 times out of 10.
And Schwob, 8 years with the Annapolis Volleyball Club, participating in the U.S. National Training Development Program as well. So he has a lot of experience, as the Nittany Lions will take another one with Schwob right in front.
And we're going to get more on Schwob as the broadcast goes on with our very own Sarah Sharp. But, I mean, he's got a long lineage. He's been around the game. He has seen what it takes to be in the middle, and sometimes that allows you to get a bigger advantage to try and get more PT going into the freshman year. And the Nittany Lions, they recognize that because they lost a lot. They lost 9 players. Mark Pavlik was even saying that, I mean, that is a big blow. So a lot of this start of the season is about finding the identity. This is a long season that lasts into April, so it's important to find the guys you're going to go with each day.
He used the term personality, and Penn State will continue to try and find that this season. Putnam with the pound, as it's 15 all, and he will get rewarded with the serve. Another look at that great setup and using that power. It's what you like to see all the time in men's volleyball, just big attacks off that one, and another right there for the Nittany Lions. Ohio State wasn't sure what the result of that one would be, but now Penn State with the lead. Ezeonu to take the serve. Dug out by Putnam. Looking right there for the kill was Howard, but off the Penn State tip, it goes out in Ohio State's end. And Ohio State back at 16 all. Van getting into Justin Howard's pre-serve song. It's the California native. Puts the ball back to Penn State's side. Set up there by Schwob. Ohio State able to keep things going. Hurley Goes out. So the Nittany Lions now with the lead, and Tyler, 17-16. We expected this to be a tight, fun game of Big Ten volleyball, and it's been really close so far.
Some might expect that they could be seeing some great balls of fire in the explosion at the pins on both sides tonight.
Ohio State waiting, and Cole Young putting a bullet on that one and able to tie it up. And now Shane Wetzel will try and look for Ohio State to continue to build. Now it's just using the height of Young right there. As Wetzel puts that one in, it's an ace. Penn State thought that one was not going to be in. But that's a big point right there for Ohio State now with the lead, and now looking for more as we get another look, Tyler.
Wetzel had 33 last year, and you could tell everybody knew that he just snuck it inside that service line. He's got great speed, great sizzle, and great spin too.
Schwob off to Rose, and the kill for Owen Rose. Entering this game with 33, hitting percentage of .472, so very strong player there for the Nittany Lions.
That is an efficient clip. He's one of this three-person All-American core that the Nittany Lions still have. They lost tons of depth, but they returned a surplus as well. And another guy here, Koval, certainly no exception to that too. Another one of those All-Americans.
They're just settling things out on the court right now. Trying to dry things up with a towel and get that moisture off. Of course, for the safety of the players, also just have a much better game of volleyball. As Koval with the serve, off the net, saved by Ohio State. At the front lines, it's Hurley, and off the tip, he gets the point.
Well, Daniel Hurley has had a major first set. Game high 4 kills so far on 8 swings, and there's a big one there. And he just settles for the block and really puts the ball in Nittany Lions court. And Michael Wright, too. Keep an eye on the high balls that he delivers to his teammates. It's almost like a rainbow. They just go right up into the air, almost near the ceiling. That's by design, but he doesn't put a lot of spin on it. It's almost like a straight-up knuckler that just drops down, and that gives them the advantage to either put some speed on it, and then that messes with the front lines, or sometimes you just can get a better path on reading the volleyball. And we saw Hurley do that there. I mean, it's interesting. These are two really strong setters in Michael Wright and Michael Schwob. But it's interesting to see the comparisons and the contrast in the way they feed their hitters.
Mark Pavlik was having a discussion with the officials, and looks like we're now going to be ready to go. Hurley will take the serve. And that one went out. It was very close to the line right there. It looks like Ohio State's going to let this go. So Rose with the serve. Tyler now tied. No timeouts yet. If things stay this tight, do you think one's going to come?
Well, I think we're going to see that, and I think it's going to come down to possessions. I mean, Ohio State outswinging the Nittany Lions, who are out hitting the Buckeyes, but it's going to come down to opportunities. Who can capitalize and pull away? Because we have not seen any separation. It's been neck and neck. We've had 6 lead changes already in this first set. It makes for a lot of drama in this game.
A violation from Ohio State. Give the ball back to Rose for the serve, and it goes out. So tied back at 20. Point for point right now here at the Covelli Center. Young and Poole coming out. There's some fresh legs for Ohio State in the rotation. Tooney with the serve. Ezionu denied by the Buckeyes, but it goes out. So Ezionu drawing that point. And the Nittany Lions take the 1-point lead.
It's too easy, Onu. 4 kills on 4 swings, perfect, found some percentage so far. Mark Pavlik said, first words that come to his mind when he thinks of Toby Onu, high flyer, and we've seen a lot of that. He can get up and jump out of the gym.
Great pun there, Tyler. As Kerr with the serve, it goes out. And it's back to a tied first set. And Tyler, when you're the Nittany Lions and you have that point right there, that's the last thing you want to give Ohio State as we enter the 20s here.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to give it away, especially when you're after that 20-point threshold. Every point's sacred, every possession's sacred.
That serve by Wright makes the Nittany Lions work for it. 2 hands there by Valencia and back to the Buckeyes side. Penn State, Schwob bumping it, and a kick right there by Shane Wetzel, and that one goes out. So Penn State now up 22-21.
It really is fun watching Michael Valenzi play that left pin because he's a little bit undersized in height, but there's a reason why he's had a lot of accolades. Former EIVA Freshman of the Year, and he can just spring almost to have his head at the same height as that antenna. He can really rise and see over the block, and that vision's so important.
In his college debut, actually against the Ohio State Buckeyes, the second game against the Buckeyes was his first career start. So he has fond memories of his first collegiate time against the Buckeyes, looking for another great game today. Cool setup there to Wetzel, and he gets it. And you can see how much that point meant to the Buckeyes from that celebration as things are back down to being tied.
A little bit of deception there from Shane Wetzel. His body was maybe signaling that he was going to go to that back right corner, and instead he gets it on the outer part of his hand and wedges it inside the
Lions. And before this timeout, there was that challenge that we're going to get a look at in a second, but playback underway as the Buckeyes trail by 2. Onu forcing the double touch by Ohio State. And now the Buckeyes are on their heels right now as the Nittany Lions able to close out this set with this point.
This is going to be an interesting call here. Doesn't look like Kevin Birch is going to wave that challenge card, but it was just kind of an awkward reception set there. Cole Young maybe double tapped it, looking for contact by his teammate Justin Howard, but nothing doing.
Onu puts the ball down, and the Nittany Lions will win the first set after it was tied back and forth. Onu
this week, there is palpable buzz around both these teams, and when they meet, you're going to get people out to see it.
Ohio State will get the first point off the service error. So now Michael Wright, he's ready for the serve. And now look, if Ohio State, be really interesting, Tyler, to see their response after losing that first set. And of course for the Nittany Lions after not winning any in their challenge last week against UCLA and USC. As Ohio State getting the point there, they have to feel good about getting that first set win.
You got to feel rejuvenated if you're this Penn State program right now. I mean, obviously 2 top 8 programs last weekend, but to get swept by both as a top 10 team as well. But that had to do a lot of wonders in that first set.
Valenzi pounds one to the ground, and he will get the Nittany Lions' first point of this set as they lead this match 1-0. Rose. The junior taking the serve. That one goes out. So 2 service errors at the beginning of this set for Penn State, and the Buckeyes regain the 2-point lead. Putnam off the net, saved by the Nittany Lions, and a switch up there by Onu. Another one hand, and he's hyped up as this Ball stays alive, and too much power from Michael Wright. And Penn State gets the point, but that was all Ezeonu right there.
It really was. Those two tips he had, I mean, he makes tips look like spikes. His hand's almost like a claw with just that extension, and he's able to get almost about 5 feet over that net. There's just a lot of clearance when he gets up.
Third service error of the set for Penn State. And we'll give Ohio State the 2-point lead again. Those are just the mistakes after you just win that first set, Tyler, that you're not going to be happy making.
And they're going to be a part of the game, but to have 8 through the first 2 sets is something they're going to want to clean up at the service strip.
Ezeonu. Put one there, back to Penn State's side. Schwob, back to Ezeonu. Ohio State now working. Hurley gets it! 5-2. And you can tell that's a big one for the Buckeyes now with 3 points in separation.
It's just a great double team split there by Hurley. I mean, Justin Howard really got it started. The middle blocker getting the dig, and then it was Ben Putnam playing setter and dishing out the sweet treats.
Trying to put power in that one was Koval. And that time for Ohio State going out. So now back to a 2-point deficit for the Nittany Lions, and Valenzi with the serve.
Oh, Cole Young tried the punch there. Closed fist, trying to sneak it and knuckle it in that back row. Just a little bit too much.
Ohio State now with it after the Valenzi serve. Ezeonu with the block. Just using that one hand again. But actually, it looks like Ohio State's going to get that point after it went to the Nittany Lions side. And a service error coming right there by Wetzel. And Ezeonu to take the serve again.
Well, this second set, kind of similar to the first 10 points as the first set was. The Buckeyes got out to a 3 to 4 point lead.
Hurley will take it. It was a little bit of a weird bounce off the Nittany Lions in front. And he just smiled in taking the ball for the serve. And you have to like that for him, trying to just build confidence right now, Tyler.
Well, through his first 9 sets in his college career, 7 kills. Through his first 2 sets tonight, 5 kills.
A switch up right there by Schwob going off him a little weird off those hands, and will give Ohio State the 4-point lead.
Yeah, he just couldn't get it up. Sometimes that's one of those things that you get caught up with, whether to turn your fist, bump it up, or go for the set, and that time it just slipped and double touched him.
And a great crowd right now here at the Covelli Center cheering on their Ohio State Buckeyes. And trying to put power in that one was Kerr. And he will get the point. So Penn State, of course, up 1-0. They were just down by 4, but they're just trying to stay in this set right now, Tyler.
And that's a great sign to see for the Nittany Lions. John Kerr, number 9 in the Navy, starting to awaken a little bit. He's got a pair of kills on 8 swings. You really got to get him going because he is integral.
What a powerful hit right there from Cole Young. As soon as he went in for it, he was immediately walking back to the serve. He knew it immediately, the type of power he put on that one. And that's what the Buckeyes need if they want to continue this lead. He'll get the serve. Schwob, one-hand punch there from Rose doesn't go. Penn State again. And John Kerr will get the point for the Nittany Lions.
Well, Owen Rose there playing backup setter in the middle. That was a really high ball that he just laid up for the spike and the kill in second effort for Schwob.
Ohio State will get awarded the point right there. 10-6 now after the violation of stepping over the line. So now right to serve. that one will go out with separation. Now making it 10-7. Now Ohio State with a few service errors of their own, so things are starting to even themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, and service pressure is something they rely on. 54 aces. They're 9th in the country in aces per set as a team. So it's a major part of their game.
Ohio State getting another one right there. So Putnam to take the serve. Valenzi missing it and putting it out of bounds.
Well, now, Zach, that Ben Putnam's back to serve. He's got probably the best walk-out song. Shipping up to Boston. He's from Boston.
Tying in the origin a little bit, I like it. It's a great song, but I don't know. We've heard some other great one tonight as well. As Ohio State thought they didn't have it for a second. The ball went almost to the top of the roof at the Covelli, which is difficult to do, but
also has 3 older brothers, 2 of whom played collegiate volleyball at Grand Canyon, Lindenwood, and Queens. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sarah. So volleyball running in the family for Michael Schwob and his Nittany Lions, getting that point right there to try and crawl back. And right after the timeout, when your team takes it, you want to get the point, and that's what they did right there.
Yeah, they call it the coach's point. They got it there.
The error from Kerr will put the ball back to Ohio State's end. So Justin Howard ready to get the serve. And you're talking about the pre-serve songs, Tyler. I don't know, when the crowd's getting into it as well and singing lyrics, that may give them a little points right there for Justin Howard. As Ohio State slowed things down, back to the Nittany Lions side. Ezionu gets the kill off the deflection from Howard.
Well, that's a laser. That's a laser. But I'm not going to let you get off that easy. I hear you, and I totally get it. You think there's some recency bias just because of Top Gun Maverick?
I'm not sure about that one, Tyler. We'll have to continue to hear them as they come out. And that I hear you, I see you from a HBO comedy show that's coming back out soon.
I wonder what that one is. It's your favorite.
It is my favorite. As Penn State now getting back into this one. They now trail only by 4, 14-10, as Valenzi with the serve. Penn State showing no quit right now. Quickly back to Merck in the Nittany Lions. Touch up there by Wright. Merck back for the other side. And John Kerr not able to get it in. And Ohio State now up by 5.
Well, Penn State's done a good job to really curb this OSU lead, but that one just went a little bit wide right of that sideline. And I think Pavlik might give it a look. I think he is. It certainly looked like that could really be in the running to be inbounds along that right sideline. Just a big blast from Kerr. A little bit off to the right. And that was great serve received by Merck. I think passing in the back for both ends has been so integral through the first set and a half.
So the officials are going to get another look. Of course, that out of bounds like a 5-foot fence around a pool. And that's exactly what they're going to look at right now. And that is a successful challenge by Mark Pavlik to get the point back. And that's a really important call when your team is down by a good margin. It's now only 3 points instead of, and that really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's all about timing, I think, when it comes down to challenges. And here's another look. Good pace. All you need is just to get a little bit of inside, and Kerr there got it through the triple block.
Valenzi served. Back to Hurley. He gets it off the tip. And now Ohio State now able to reach 15.
That's a great job by Cole Young as the decoy. He can take that or fake it. He faked it, got the Penn State front line to bite.
Schwob looks for Koval. Isionu gets it! The power! And he has shown that tonight so far, and he gets another. And Kevin Birch for Ohio State, from his reaction, was similar to what Mark Pavlik was talking about when I asked him about if Jacob Pastor was in this game, what they can do. Sometimes you just have to say, okay, that's a great point, nothing we can do there, and move on. And that's basically what happened there for Ozionu. He got the separation exactly where he wanted it and could make them pay.
Yeah, he's one of the best at capitalizing on overpasses.
Served, Hurley sets, looks for right. He finds the spot.
Well, that's a great piece of execution by Ohio State. They're starting to mix up their looks as a rotationing unit. Noah Plattfoot is in, Michael Wright is in. It's not a two-setter system. Michael Wright using himself as a left side hitter there. And Plattfoot in at the setter spot.
Hurley saved there by Merck. Back to the Buckeyes side. Set up by Plattfoot. An attack error by Ohio State will bring the Nittany Lions within 3, and Penn State with the substitution.
And I think they're going to try and counteract a double setter look. They're going to bring in Luke Snyder, the senior from Manhattan Beach, California, another setter as well. Whether they use him in a middle spot like that or they just have him as an extra back row guy to serve as a specialist. This is going to be a really interesting way to see how these teams play their setters strategically.
And it looks like Snyder's going to try this again. Let that go a little bit before when he was supposed to, so he'll get another chance. He has one service ace on the season. Steps into the ball, back to the Buckeyes side. Plattfoot sets, blocked by John Kerr. And now only 2 points. Penn State just not quitting here, Tyler.
Yeah, they really have shown that they can keep clawing and inching back. At that time, just a quick single block by Kerr.
Cole Young, look at that vision. He looked one way, went the other after finding that hole and bringing back the 3-point separation. And Snyder will now step out as Michael Schwob coming back in.
It is a major advantage to have Wright and Plattfoot both on the floor. Usually they've been splitting the duties and having it by committee, but they're both 10th and 11th in program history and assists. A premium to have them at the same time.
Schwob looking for Kerr, and Ohio State keeps it alive. Another one coming from Putnam, and he will bring it back to a 4-point lead for OSU.
Nittany Lions are looking for something quick. They're going to try and set things up. A quick 1-2-3 transition probably off this reception. If they can receive this serve well, they want to get things organized quickly.
Koval off the Kerr, and he gets it right off the hands of Daniel Hurley. And that is a very fortunate point for the Nittany Lions. And you can just see Daniel Hurley was not happy with his placement right there.
And when you look at his body language there, partner, you knew that Hurley had a feeling it was going to go a little bit too strong. And he just peeled back, and just one of those unlucky caroms when you pirouette out of that serve.
And nonetheless, Hurley was there for the second time, and he backed away, allowing Penn State to get the service error. So now the Buckeyes will get the point. Michael Wright with the serve. And a beautiful kill coming from the hands of Justin Howard. The middle blocker put it down, and Penn State will get forced to take. Welcome back on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Roeder alongside me is Tyler Bamberg, and down on the court is Sarah Sharp as continuing the second set, and Ohio State will not get that point off the tip. So the Nittany Lions getting the coach's point again as they now trail by 4.
That's 3 blocks now for the Nittany Lions. They've been authoritative at the nylon. They have 4 block assists and 1 solo block. And that was that one from Ryan Kerr.
Penn State. Valenti puts it back to the Buckeyes side. Right. Looking to pull, and he gets it. It was a high set, and instead it went for the kill. Looked like the plan all along as all the Buckeyes just stepped out of it. And well, yeah, that's a big one for him. Whenever the setter gets the point, it's exciting for them. Nice save there by the Nittany Lions. Puts it back to the Buckeyes side. And Putnam with the huge kill, 22-16.
Yeah, they're playing with fire there, and you just had a feeling that Ohio State was going to get that point because the ball looked like it struck the antenna. That's what the Buckeye bench was warranting, but nonetheless, it was capped off by Putnam all alone in the middle.
Ohio State service error costing them a point and making it 22-17. So now Kerr serve for the Nittany Lions. Steps into the ball, back to Ohio State's end. A one-hand touch there by Hurley. Schwob to Isionu, goes out. So 23-17, and Ohio State now 2 points away from tying this matchup, and Penn State now with no timeouts.
And you have to like the design for Penn State. I mean, when the chips are down, you go to 1-8. You go to Isionu in a situation like that up in front. You got the mismatch. All you got to do is just tap it inside that left sideline, just a little bit wide.
Off the netting, Tooney served. Save there. Isionu finds the spot and he gets it. 23-18.
And just a quick free ball there for Isionu. A strong dig on that far left 10-foot line for OSU, but Isionu able to pounce on it, and he's only had 1 attacking error so far in this matchup.
Just a pause to dry up the court, and Valenti will now take the serve. His dad, a Penn State graduate, as it's back to the Buckeyes side, and a great block by Michal Koval, and he did a little celebration with that one hand, and he was excited about that one. Whenever you can get a solo block, really gives you the energy.
It's got to be a great feeling, and you can tell a very relieved look from Koval as he looked back to his bench after getting the rejection.
Valenti serve, it's an ace! And just like that, PSU trails by 3.
Just great curvature there on the serve in the back right corner from Valenti. A lot of spin as he releases it. And the placement too, because it had to boomerang back in as well. It starts out and then it comes in. That's why it crosses up a guy like Daniel Hurley in the back.
Ohio State will take it. Get this set win. It would be really important for them. Tyler, what do they have to do to try and close things out?
Well, they just have to get it into the hands of the outsides. Put Penn State into a position where they really have to make the dig, make the right move.
And they had to right there, and they weren't able to. As Wetzel now with the serve, and it is set point. Fans on their feet. Here at Covelli. Wetzel with the ball in his hands. Trying to stop this Penn State team from coming back in this set. Schwob to Isionu. Off the hands of Poole. Keeping it alive there is Putnam. And keeping things going are the Nittany Lions and Schwob.
Well, Schwab doing it himself offensively. But how about Thomas Poole? Scrounging for that right-handed save. A valiant effort, just coming up a little bit short. But a two-pronged attack there from Michael Schwab. He can dish it out, but he can also capitalize as well.
Ezionu. Dug out by the libero and Poole. Pushed back to Ohio State's end. Hurley off the tip. He gets it. And the Buckeyes tie this match. 25-21 in the second set, and it is 1-1.
So important in this third set upcoming.
So Ohio State will get the serve as Michael Wright will have the ball. And by the Buckeyes right now they have the momentum. They want to try and take advantage right away, Tyler.
Yes, they will. I mean, they want to stake their claim early and often, try and get a block, try and get something generated.
And Penn State able to get the point. Sean Kerr with the kill. And on the flip side, Tyler, if you're Mark Pavlik in the Nittany Lions, you want a response.
And you want something quickly, too. I mean, you utilize that back row and almost effortlessly move it down to the front pins.
The block by Penn State goes out of bounds, so Ohio State able to tie it.
I think if OSU wants to play cleanly, Zach, I think they're just going to have to hit their blocks. I mean, just settle, try and hammer it off like Howard did, utilize the power.
Right set, looking, it's blocked. That coming from Owen Rose, and he'll get rewarded with the serve. And you talked about hitting the blocks, and sometimes able to work right there.
And Owen Rose there executing what he can really do best. He's a strong blocker.
Another block, that time from Ezionu. Buckeyes keeping it alive was Putnam. Looking for the chance was Shane Wetzel, but it goes out of bounds. And Ohio State will not get that point. And PSU now with the 2-point lead. Dug out by Poole. One hand there from Wetzel, and it goes right between him and the net. So now Penn State with the 3-point lead.
Well, physicality, we've talked about it time and time again for Penn State, but that was on display there. Nittany Lions have almost been winning every single joust when they've had it at the nylon.
Big point right there for Shane Wetzel, especially right after the previous point went between him and the net, down to the ground. So you have to just shake it off, as you were talking about earlier, Tyler, with that short-term memory. And getting that point right there definitely has to help him, as Ohio State now only down by 2. Ezionu with the fake, and Penn State will get rewarded with the point.
Some more deception there. I mean, it was kind of an awkward piece of a side up there for Penn State. But Ezionu had it flip a little bit inadvertently, and then it just bobbed over the net. Somehow Ezionu able to recalibrate and get it off the carom.
Hurley with the set. Wetzel forcing the block to go out, and he'll draw the point. So the Buckeyes down by 2. Wetzel serves it over, but it hits the net. So the service error right there. And Valenzi now looking to build on this Penn State lead. Drives into the ball. Touch there by Hurley. Back to the other side. Schwab. Long ball for Koval. Goes out for the attack there by Penn State. And the Buckeyes now getting one back at 4 points. And Mark Pavlik will challenge that play. And Tyler, as they're going to get another look at that one, if you're Mark Pavlik, you have to definitely, this is the time of the game you make that call, especially early in this set.
Well, by the way that he pulls out that challenge card right now, it shows that they want to preserve this lead. So it's got to be a set-by-set, match-by-match basis. Obviously, you want to hold on to it so you don't have nothing in a time of dire need. But Pavlik is 2 for 2 on challenges, and you don't lose that challenge card until you lose a challenge. And so you can tell he's very confident. It was almost bang-bang by the time he went to the challenge card. So to answer your question in a long-form way, partner, I think it just depends on the situation, but it also shows that there's a little bit of pep in their step. They want to take this point. It shows that this point, this type of play is important to them, that they want to try and get it right and extend that lead to what would be 4.
And we're getting the call, and Mark Pavlik unsuccessful on that challenge as we'll get another look at this play. And it did hit the line right at the bottom of your right-hand corner.
And it makes you wonder, too, are they looking at maybe some accidental contact with Wetzel, too, as he pulled back? Kind of like that Daniel Hurley play at the end of the second set. Maybe looking for some contact, too.
Possibly. Nonetheless, Ohio State getting the point. Having the ball now, blocked out. That was by Ezeonu. Bump to the other side by Wetzel. The one hand by Koval. Able to find the spot, and Penn State now up 7-4.
That's great communication by a Penn State team that's 11th in the country in assists per set. You see Schwobe, he calls out for Merck to dig it up instead of him taking the pass. That's a freshman there, barking out signals in split-second situations to give the Nittany Lions the point.
The big one off the bullet from Putnam goes off the tip and out of bounds off of Nittany Lions. So Ohio State able to get one back as they now trail by 2. And you talked about Ohio State trying to find the Penn State blocks and bank off that, but also just trying to find the players in the position where they're not able to fight back. That's what they did right there.
And they have a lot of power too, so you can bank on power as well. It's not necessarily about the placement sometimes when you have double and triple blocks facing you, but it comes down to that power that you can provide. If you can hit it as hard as you can off the block, chances are it's probably going to run awry.
Poole looking for the other side. Putnam is able to put one home off the tip from a Nittany Lion. And the Buckeyes now within 2.
He's trying to make it back-to-back matches in double figures. He had 10 kills in that 5-set thrilling win over USC. And again, by the way, we talked about it before, but OSU, they played 3 straight ranked matches that have gone to 5 sets.
The point coming from Koval. It's now up by 3.
I think for Penn State, the Nittany Lions, Zach, they got to take care of business early because Ohio State, they've been outscoring their opponents by over 15 points in the 5th.
Poole put it back to Penn State side. Valenzi looking back to Kerr. And he will make it 10 for Penn State.
Well, there are 3 hitters in this match that are top 15 in all of college volleyball in hitting percentage, and John Kerr is one of those guys at 14th. He's just got a great feel for vision.
The one hand coming from Putnam. He tried again. And hitting the net and getting denied was Putnam, so Penn State up 11-6. Thanks so much, Sarah, and the rivalry will continue. In this game right now, Ohio State trailing by 5. They'll try and get the coach's point, and Penn State will keep things going. Valenzi blocked, but the block goes out. So Penn State now doubling up the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that was a tight one, too, right off the rip. But Valenzi, you see there, he just soars for that point. I think that's an advantage that he can really have, is he can get it kind of off the forearm levels of the blockers.
Shane Wetzel getting an important point right there for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, a little dink and dunk action. He gets the feed for Thomas Poole, and maybe rolled it off that outside part of the hand there.
Valenzi with the one hand. Puts it back. Schwob off the Kerr. On dugout right there by Putnam. Another chance by Wetzel, and it's back to Penn State's side. Kerr. Putnam keeping it alive again. Valenzi blocked, and we have ourselves a rally. Another chance by Kerr, blocked by the Buckeyes, but it goes out. And after a long, unusual rally in men's volleyball, Penn State getting the big point to continue the separation right now.
And that was a ferocious series of blocks by OSU, but Penn State able to read it well.
And that time a error coming from Penn State, giving the opportunity to Justin Howard and the Buckeyes to serve. Valenzi touches up to Schwob. Valenzi again is able to find it and put it home. It's now 14-8.
That's now 24 assists for Michael Schwob. That's a great piece of passing there. He gives it up to Valenzi where he wants it. That's a good ball by Schwob, who's fifth in the country in assists per set.
Poole called for it. Back to Wetzel. And a big bullet kept alive by Penn State. Another chance by Hurley, and he finds the spot. The Buckeyes keeping things interesting now as they now trail by 5.
Well, Daniel Hurley now has more kills tonight than he had through the first 5 matches of his career. A statement first 3 sets in his first college start.
And when our Sarah Sharp was talking to Kevin Birch, it was about that resiliency. And Ohio State showing it right now. Schwob, the one or 2 hands from Koval back to the Buckeyes side, and Hurley stepping up, gets it off the tip. And the Buckeyes now down by 4. Ohio State now piling up a few points of their own. And Wetzel with the serve, goes over. High ball. Schwob changed up there by Ezionu. Pull for the Buckeyes. The other side by Hurley. He gets it home. And the man stepping up for Jacob Pastor today has had himself a few great points right there. And that will force Mark Pavlik and the Penn State Nittany Lions to take a time.
Years, and this is his 30th year at head coach. You do the math, that's 39 years with one individual program. A lot of longevity for Pavlik.
Valenzi, not able to get it past Poole. But Kerr able to find the hole through the block. And he will get the point after the Penn State timeout and regain the 4-point lead for PSU.
Little help from the tape there, but a BB from John Kerr. Sitting 300 with 9 kills to set up Valenzi at the strip.
And Valenzi now taking the serve. Ball goes over, touched up by Poole. Wetzel drills one, and it went out from a tip by the Penn State Nittany Lions, so the Buckeyes getting the point. And Mark Pavlik looking around right now, and I think we're going to see a challenge, and we will. He's just talking things over for a second with his players. Ryan Merck trying to discuss as well. And they will indeed check things over. And Mark Pavlik talking things over with his players, making sure that this is the right call, and we'll get another look right now. And it's going to be difficult, definitely going out. The question is, that tip right at the net, or maybe was there a little skim of the arm while it was going out?
So that was the call. They said that there was hands at the net. They said that there was going to be contact incidentally at some part. And what was interesting about it is that Kevin Birch, he knew that there might have been contact. So he goes to the bench, right nearby Sports Information Director Dan Wallenberg. He's about to grab the challenge card, thinking it was called out of bounds. And then he looks over. The ruling from Brian Hemmelgarn, as Birch looked over to him, he's the second referee. They called it touched at the nylon. So Kevin Birch lets out a big smile. So there's a lot of different perspectives here, and ultimately it's going to land with Birch.
So Ohio State will get the point, allowing them to continue to try and get back into this set. As Daniel Hurley, we get another look at that play. It'll get ruled as a tip by Penn State. And just a pause by the officiating crew. We're going to be ready to go now. The redshirt freshman puts the ball into the air and off the head of Cole Young, who seems to be okay.
Young didn't even flinch. That's great to see. Not affected at all by it.
Always a good sign, especially at the back of the head right there. That's Ezionu putting a service error, so those will cancel each other out for an advantage. The point's still racking up. Talking about Cole Young, he's ready to go now, as he has the ball and ready to serve. Getting the go-ahead, steps into the ball, goes over, Valenci sets, back to Schwob. Putting it down was Rose, back to the other side for the Buckeyes. Penn State again. Schwob, instead of setting it, puts it to the Buckeyes side and straight out of bounds for the Buckeye point. Cole Young to serve again. We'll take another look. And Schwob was looking like he was going to set that, instead put it the other side. The one-hand push down by Michal Koval. That was absolutely dirty right there. Able to find the perfect opportunity where the Buckeyes weren't, and just quickly tap that one down.
Yeah, like a hot knife through butter, just carves it through that right pin. He's got over 500 career points to his name, and Koval doing it again.
Both teams thought they got that point. The Buckeyes thought they did. Penn State awarded with the point, but head coach Kevin Birch is going to want the officiating crew to get another look at this one right now. It's 18-14 if this ruling stands. As Penn State and Mark Pavlik talking things over, and Tyler, where things stand right now, a 4-point separation if this call stands. This is a very pivotal moment, especially in this third set.
It is a major moment, because if you can cut this lead down to a 2-point lead, if Ohio State can win this challenge, I mean, that puts a lot more pressure on the Nittany Lions. But if this one holds, PSU takes a nice, comfortable 4-point lead. And of course, especially in later stages against the #1 team in the country, no lead is comfortable, really, but you always want to have that cushion. And Penn State, if they can hold this 4-point lead, I mean, they're definitely in the favorite here because they have just one less total attack than the Buckeyes. They have 6 attacking errors. OSU has 16. And that's one thing that the Buckeyes wanted to be a little bit cleaner in, is the attacks. And that's something that Kevin Birch wanted to do going into the 3rd set. He wanted to be cleaner, but the Nittany Lions have been a little bit more of a cleaner team.
Let's get another look at this play, this celebration from both teams thinking they got the point. Ohio State unsuccessful on the challenge. Kevin Birch getting an explanation. And here's the look right now. And it looked very close. But after getting a long look at that, the officials giving it to Penn State's side. Of course, you need a sizable amount of evidence to turn that one over. And Penn State now getting the point, and the Buckeyes will take their final timeout of this set. And Tyler, now with Ohio State trailing by a good margin, we'll go back to that challenge. I've always thought it's very interesting with what I've noticed as well during these timeouts. Jacob Pasture not in the lineup tonight, but has been very vocal in all the huddles, as well as a big block coming from Ohio State. That coming off the hands of Justin Howard, part of that team block. And that is a big point after the timeout to get the ball back to Shane Wright. Or Michael Wright, excuse me. And you were talking, Tyler, about pre-serve songs. That's a pretty solid one as well.
Shakira.
Pool sets. Looking for Wetzel. He's denied. The hands off Rosenkerr.
That's a big block there for Penn State in a major moment. That could be a momentum shifter and sustainer.
Koval finding the open area. And he will get the important point for the Nittany Lions. They're 4 away from going up 2-1 in this match.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of aces. We've seen 23 combined service errors, but that was just the 3rd ace of this match. 2nd for Penn State, but in a big spot for Koval.
Koval. Had to serve. And an attack error there from Ohio State will now draw this closer to a Penn State set number 3 win.
Pace is so important here. Penn State, they want to go up-tempo. OSU does not have any timeouts left. This is where he can really push the envelope.
High ball there for Ohio State. One-hand touch there by Putnam, puts the ball back to Valenzi. Poole. Putnam again with the one hand, back to Penn State's side. Schwob denies Koval. Is Ohio State. And that is a huge point right there. We'll get another look at that coming off the hands of Hurley. Valenzi. One hand punch off from Wright. Back to Penn State's side. It's Merck to Schwob. And it going out off the hands of John Kerr. And Ohio State continue to climb. The inability to quit from Ohio State right now as they keep going. Schwob to Valenzi. And a violation. I believe stepping over that line right at the bottom. And
entire part of this 3rd frame.
Ohio State not able to find the ball on that one. So now only 2 points away are the Nittany Lions. And Tyler, you talked about UCLA and USC. Both teams of Penn State and Ohio State playing them this weekend. And we talked about the only Big Ten matchup. Well, they're going to get some new friends next year.
That we are. It's going to be a lot of fun. It makes you wonder, you know, what that means for men's college volleyball, what that means for realignment. But that's going to be a lot of fun. If you look at these 4 teams, I mean, they're all in the top 15, which says a lot.
And the service error from Owen Rose, that is a big one right there. Yes, UCLA and USC both joining the greater Big Ten Conference, of course not in volleyball at this moment. Still looking for more teams there. Penn State with the set point, but Ohio State able to get the serve. Schwob to Ezionu, and he will get the point and the set. So a big one right there for the Nittany Lions, and Ezionu, when he's had to close things out, he's done so twice this evening with the big points. So now the Buckeyes are trailing 2-1, but Penn State, and
they have 35 to Penn State's 34, but the key, 5 different Buckeyes have had multiple assists.
We're underway. In set number 4, Michael Wright, the setter, switching it up for the kill and getting the first point of this 4th set. It's going to be a fun 4th one here, Tyler. After an ace from Michael Wright. Zachary Rodier alongside me is Tyler Danberg and Sarah Sharp down at the court. As Wright will now get his 3rd serve in a row. As the Buckeyes look to go on a run. Another ace! Back-to-back aces for Michael Wright.
Now he's starting to get hot. He's feeling it from that spot behind the service line.
Looking for his 3rd in a row. The Buckeyes up 3-0. Valenzi touching it for Penn State. Back to the Buckeyes side. Hurley put it back to Penn State. Valenzi. Poole. Looking right there. And a nice keeping it alive by Ryan Merck. But getting the kill downtown is Justin Howard.
A Terminator-like play. You can't ask for much better libero play from both Poole and Ryan Merck, especially, who is dazzling on that spurt. But ultimately, Justin Howard, if he's going to have the chance, he's going to capitalize and finish.
This is the run the Buckeyes needed if they want to try and tie things up in the sets. As the Buckeyes get that point, Mark Pavlik holding the green card right now, talking things over. We'll get another look at this play. Penn State will challenge. Maybe they're looking for a violation right here, Tyler, as it was clear who touched the ball at the end, and maybe they're looking if Ohio State stepping up that line.
Yeah, some type of net violation there, or maybe one of those 2 blockers came over, but you got to look at this progression here. You get the side out, and then Michael Wright gets hot. He goes ace, ace, overpass, which results in the kill, and then that attacking error in the Buckeyes' favor.
So the foot coming down by Hurley after the play. Net possibly in play there as well. But nonetheless, Ohio State will get the point. 5-0.
OSU, they just quickly charge. I mean, the 5-point response to begin this 4th frame. Most separation to begin a set so far that we've seen today. Usually it's hand-in-hand, and then one team takes a multi-score lead. But right now, it's all Buckeyes. Nittany Lions try to counter.
Wright will continue to serve. Saved there by Valenzi. Wright setting off to Howard. Penn State and Valenzi able to get the spot. and they will get their first point of the set.
That's a great swipe by Michael Valenzi. Just goes up and gets it. He's an economical player. I mean, he really relies on efficiency. 7 kills, 4 digs, hitting .250.
The one hand by Hurley. Ezeonu. Back to Kerr. We'll put it back to Ohio State's end. And it's blocked by Ezeonu. And now the Nittany Lions getting 2 points in a row.
That's a great piece of blocking by Ezeonu to snuff it out. Right, a quick dish. Howard was already in the air. They're just looking for that quick calibration and connection, but Ezeonu, he knew it was coming. He read it out well. He eyed it over, just took a quick glance to his right and was able to contort his body to get out in front and rechecked it. I mean, they are really winning the pin, the Nittany Lions are. I mean, the Buckeye block's been strong, but 11 total, including the solo and assist blocks for PSU.
Hurley getting the big point for his team, 6-2 now. And he's having himself a pretty good game, trying to show Coach Kevin Birch what he has to offer. Violation by Penn State will give the point back, and that coming from Schwob on the violation, so Ohio State taking advantage. High ball from Putnam goes way out. So Penn State now getting their 3rd point of the set. And now this is similar to this 3rd set, Tyler, we just saw a few minutes ago with the separation between the two teams, unlike the 1st set. But don't count the team that's down out, is what we saw in this 3rd set. But nonetheless, Penn State was able to get that one. High ball, touched up by Koval. Valenzi, saved by Putnam. Poole puts the ball high up again. Hurley, 2 hands, puts it back to Penn State's side. Big push there by Koval. We'll put it the other way. And it goes out off the air, and Penn State now within 3.
I think one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of rallies that's a little bit more uncanny or unorthodox is because of the patience that both teams are having. They're realizing that they don't necessarily need to force it and hammer it home initially, but they're putting a lot of trust in their reception skills. We saw Daniel Hurley on that possession just push it over on that high digging ball from Thomas Poole. That was a lofty pass. Usually you're going to see a lot of outsides just go and spike it, but Hurley there put it back in Penn State's half, and then he put himself in a position to try and dig it out on the other end.
Kerr took the serve for Penn State, and he now gets the dig. 2 hands by Koval. Back to Ohio State side. Another rally here will end off the hands of Daniel Hurley.
Virginia Beach, Virginia native with the stuff right there on that 10-foot line.
12 kills so far for him in this game. Ezeonu. Put it to the other side. Ohio State still going. Back to Kerr. Valenzi's blocked, but it goes out, and the Nittany Lions draw the point.
A staunch set piece there for the Nittany Lions. They go over the fake to Ezeonu. They draw right and Hurley to bite. And that leaves Valenzi all alone on that left pin.
Valenzi to serve. Beautiful serve right there from him to get the ace.
Well, that's a thing in beauty there. That's the second time he's done that. Just tight roping and caressing that right corner line. Another look at it. How about that spin?
Exactly where he needed it to be. And he'll try and replicate right now.
It's like a Pedro Martinez slider.
And a great serve going now to a service error. He can wipe that one off because he knew the one right before he had a great play. But just like that, now 9-6, 3 points for Penn State, they trail. As Hurley with the serve. Touched up by Merck and going out off the hands of Michal Koval. So Hurley will get the serve again. Up in the air and over, but out. So the service error getting canceled by both teams. It's 10-7 now.
You've really been loving the back row play for both squads, Ohio State especially. 42 digs to Penn State's 30. And the Nittany Lions and Buckeyes have a combined 7 reception errors. That's it. It's been clean in the passing area.
Hurley able to find the right hole right there for Ohio State. And able to get his 13th kill of the game. And the Buckeyes now with separation. The error coming from Tooney. So 11-8. And Penn State now with the ball. It's Michal Koval. The Polish native puts the ball over. To go back the other way to Cole Young, who puts the ball home.
It's been an efficient clip for Cole Young today, as it usually is. Maybe a little bit more modest, hitting at 273, but 6 kills for the Mivas leader in hitting percentage, who came in attacking at 512.
Merck off to the other side to Koval. Ohio State now. Putnam. Valenci saving. That ball was probably going to go out. And that block now coming from Kerr. It went out, so Ohio State getting the point. Cole Young now to take the serve. The one hand right there from Koval, able to get him the point.
It's a great swipe there by John Kurzak. Just goes up high to get it like a claw machine and just wraps it right down onto the deck. Great heads-up awareness there from Kerr.
The long launch from Hurley goes out. So now 3 points again between these two teams.
Serve placement was exquisite there from Koval. He's been showing that off. He's got one ace today, but a lot of his serves have been those finesse-type serves in that back right side. And Ben Putnam there, a little razzle-dazzle there to dive to his left, get under it, and keep the possession alive. But it seemed like because of the way Koval was able to serve there, he had OSU on the ropes regardless of how they were going to be able to clear it out of their own end.
A huge, powerful serve by Koval. Hurley with a huge ball, and it goes off the roof. They'll still play. Koval bumping it over. Poole. And a huge bullet from Kyle Tooney. And that was such a different play, hitting the roofing, coming back down. And after a great rally, the big 4-point lead for Ohio State.
That's the first kill of the season for Tooney. He's been used mostly in a serving role, a serving specialist, or even in the serve-receive. But that time, he gets a key kill at a key time.
That serve from right goes out. Now back within 3. Just like we saw in that first set, back and forth, we're seeing it again. Great Thursday night volleyball here at the Covelli Center in Columbus. Daniel Hurley. Able to get another big kill for him. Continue to rack them up tonight. Putnam putting the ball over and out.
Go back to that replay that we just saw. Both teams have really been executing that fake out. That fake and take type of play is one of the most visually appealing sets in volleyball. Just such a fun play.
A push right there by the Buckeyes. Ezeonu now forcing Ohio State, but a great save by Poole. And what a powerful big hit there by Ezeonu, but it goes out. And the Buckeyes now separate for 4.
Well, Thomas Poole's the energizer, Zach, and he showed that there. 7 digs now, 2 assists. Poole is 24th in the NCAA in digs percent coming into this affair. I mean, he can really spark and channel some offensive awakeness for a team with his ability to just make those finesse-like plays.
That's served by Howard. Back to Valenzi for Penn State. Right bumps. Set by Howard, goes over. Schwob to Valenzi, blocked, and goes out. So Penn State able to get the point. 16-13. They're gonna come dry up some moisture on the court. So it's maintained this around 3-point difference throughout this set so far. The question is, can Penn State now bring it back within 2? Valenzi forces Poole to make the touch. Back to Hurley, he's denied. Ezeonu and Koval team up for the block. And it's within 2 for Penn State.
That's the 3rd solo block for Ezeonu. It's one thing to get an assist. And if you factor in his block assists too, he's now got 4.
Back to Ohio State's end. Schwob now for Penn State. And things keeping alive by Valenzi. And that tip off the hands of Cole Young will give the point to the Nittany Lions. Crowd not happy here with that play. And looks like Ohio State will take a timeout, as it's now only 1.
Makes it even more fun at times because you get to see a lot of different teams, but there are 2 schools that are predominantly Big Ten, and they are on display this weekend. Not just once, but twice.
I believe it will be a whiteout in Penn State. And it is 16-all, so the Nittany Lions getting things back in tight right now.
That's why it's even more important for Ohio State to take this win, because Rec Hall is a tough place to play. These are 2 revered facilities in volleyball, regardless of the women's or the men's. They are tough, hostile places to play.
Miscue there by the Buckeyes is saved. So it's back to Penn State's side. Kerr put it over. The touch and great save by Putnam. And back to Penn State's side. Koval off the tip. And the Nittany Lions will now take the lead.
Well, let's digest this. That's a major play by Penn State, first of all. Somehow, some way, Michael Wright was able to keep his feet in front of him and play it off the net for the Buckeyes. However, the Nittany Lions getting that hard-fought bulldozer of a point, and that really completes this comeback. I mean, that's 17 points for them after OSU took a 5-0 drubbing through the first stages of this 4th frame.
Now they're going to have to try and maintain it, as Cole Young trying to put a point on there for Ohio State. Hurley denied. Poole giving it off. The tip. And Ohio State able to tie things up. And that one coming, I believe, from the hands of Kyle Tooney, as they'll continue to dry things up on the court And now it's back to that first set again, back and forth points. And Ohio State just trying to stay alive, but Penn State knows that they don't want this to get to the 5th set, especially in an away atmosphere here at Covelli.
Yeah, Ohio State outscoring opponents their last 3, 45-36 in set 5.
And Hurley putting the ball into the net. So Ezionu now to take the serve. Went over, set up, and getting the big point is Putnam.
Putnam just putting him on the floor. That's exactly what he's been doing and what he's added. We've talked about Daniel Hurley. Also worth noting, Ben Putnam also with 8 kills. They've combined for 22, filling that void left by Jacob Paster's injury.
Valenzi back over. As he hands it off to Owen Rose with the big point to take the lead. Back and forth now. Off the hands of Schwob on that serve. And the Buckeyes are able to tie things up.
That dump play, Zach, is too hot to trot for Michael Wright. He's got 3 kills off that type of play. I mean, he can just riddle it through that front row at any given moment.
That's the dangerous play that the setters always like to use when they have that opportunity. But that huge play coming back from the opposite hitter of John Kerr, getting the big point to bring the Nittany Lions to 20.
Cross-court winner there. Look at the vision, high pointed by Kerr, elevating over Wright and Howard to get that point. Here we go, sweaty palms time. This is what it comes down to. I mean, whoever's gonna take this set, obviously Penn State, they get this set, they're the first to 25, they win it outright. But they gotta get this one here because you don't wanna have to fend off this Buckeyes top-ranked squad of the 5th.
Right to Hurley. Able to get the point with the kill. And it goes back to 20. Michael Wright to take the serve. Up in the air, over Valenti, making the touch. It's back to Ohio State side. Poole off to Wright to Hurley. He puts it home. Taking the lead of the Buckeyes, 21-20. And Penn State will take the timeout. Welcome back on Big Ten Plus. Zachary Road here alongside me is Tyler Danberg. Sarah Sharp down on the court. Ohio State now with the 1-point lead. Nice save there by Poole. The other chance, and getting the point is Ben Putnam off the tip. The Buckeyes now up by 2. Get another look at that big play there, Tyler. Now Michael Wright looking for more. Off of Koval. Set up by Schwob, and out was Valenzi, but it was off the tip. So now a 1-point set.
Heads up job by Valenzi, able to draw that contact. Give him 10 kills now, second Nittany Lion, third to double figures.
Owen Rose crossing the line for a violation, and a huge point right there going to Ohio State. That's the mistake you don't want to make if you're Penn State. Ben Putnam. Off to Ezionu. Bumped back to Penn State's side. Merck to Schwob. Valenzi able to find it home. And it's now within 1.
Oh, that's a slitherer there from Valenzi. Sneaks it in, tucks it in. That is a big spot and a big kill. I mean, there's not much you can really do about that if you're Tooney or Poole in the back.
Off the serve from Kerr. Hurley onto the other side to Tooney. Back to Penn State's side. Two hands right there. Coming from Coons. Schwob. Off to the far side to John Kerr. Number 1 Ohio State and number 9 Penn State. Zachary Rodier alongside me is Tyler Danberg. Sarah Sharp down at the court and our great Big Ten Plus crew. As John Kerr looking to take the lead. First to 25, win by 2 in this 4th set. Touched by Merck. And a high attack there by Coons. And will give Ohio State the opportunity to force set number 5. And it looks like Penn State's going to take a timeout. As Mark Pavlik talking to his team right now, as the Buckeyes within 1 of winning this 4th set, 24-23 here on Big Ten Plus when we return for more 4th set action. A 5th set in hand. Set point in Shane Wetzel's hands. Puts it over. Touched by Koval. Valenzi out. And it is 24-all into the extra points here in set number 4.
It's got to be so crucial for Penn State to give the ball in the hands of a guy who's played 63 matches. He's got the veteran experience. He's played in high-octane moments. And in no bigger spot than this against number 1, he comes through to deadlock this at 24.
Valenzi with the serve. The crowd loud at Covelli. Set up by Wright, down by Tooney. With the 2 hands, he puts it down on the court. 25-24, and the Buckeyes again with an opportunity to force the 5th set.
This is a heavyweight matchup. And we just saw it there. Kyle Tooney, 2 kills for him.
The crowd on their feet, cheering on their Buckeyes. Hurley over the net. Merck to Enzionu. 25-all. Back and forth here in the 4th set. It's what some great Big Ten volleyball is all about, Tyler.
It really has been. I mean, this is just strength on strength, will to will, and Enzionu. He was quiet, but then he quickly roars out to tie it.
He's helped close out sets for Penn State. It goes out, and giving the Buckeyes another opportunity to close it out. Again, win by 2, back at set point for Ohio State. And they do it this time. Tooney with the serve. The ball is over off the net. Schwob and off to Koval. And it's 26 again. We are tied here at the Covelli.
This is marvelous from Michal Koval. How about this tip? Squeezes it, threads the needle between Hurley and Poole. So much so that the floor is soaked in sweat. I mean, the amount of times everybody's had to wipe out the floor goes to show you how bad both these squads want it.
Neck and neck. Schwob with the serve, back to Ohio State side, and a big one coming from Hurley. And Penn State now with the chance to win the match.
They haven't had set point at all in this 4th. It's been all Buckeyes for the most part. But now Penn State, can they cap it off? Can they finish? Can they get their highest ranked win of the season and their 2nd in total?
Michael Schwob, the match in his hands, putting the ball over. Back to Wright. Off the hands of Putnam. And it's in. It's 27-27. And the Buckeyes stay alive. Cole Young now with the serve as we go into the extra points here in the 4th set. Ball goes over, touched by Koval. Set up by Schwob, off the tip, And the Nittany Lions with their second chance to win the match coming up.
A little give and go action there between Koval and Schwob, and it laid back to Koval, who's really taken things over.
Michael Wright not able to get anything there for Ohio State, so Koval now with the serve. The chance to win the match. Number 9 Penn State against number 1 OSU. The boos raining right now, trying to get in Koval's head. The ball's up, goes down. Touched by Wright. And a big play right there by Putnam. Back to the Buckeye side. Wright to Hurley, kept alive by Merck. Valenzi puts it over. The Buckeyes stay alive. Koval off to Schwob. Valenzi finds it, and the Nittany Lions get the upset. Penn State stunning the Buckeyes. And in extra points, 29-27 in the fourth set. And my goodness, what an